And I don't think he's going to turn up today. The reason being is he was very on public display last night in LA at a basketball game with Meghan and his Archwell team. I believe we've got pictures of them if we can show them. So I don't think he's going to fly across to the UK.
With her new hairdo?
With her new hairdo. There we are, here we are. So if you're watching on television, you can see Prince Harry and Meghan in a box at the basketball game in LA with their Archwell team. He's looking very happy there, but of course his lawyers will be fighting hard in court. The royal family's mantra is, of course, never complain, never explain. Perhaps that is...
Did the Queen rather well, didn't it?
It certainly did, which is perhaps why Prince Harry has left it so late. He's now no longer a working member of the royal family. He doesn't need to do what they say. But also, there's been many of out-of-court settlements, hasn't there, to do with alleged phone hacking with The Sun and other publications. Because, of course, legal fights in court, very, very expensive. You have to pay lawyers a lot of money. But we know, don't we, Prince Harry despises the British tabloids, the British press. And I predict he is not going to settle out of court in this matter, which is going to be very uncomfortable, I think, A, for the publishers in question, but also the royal family, because Prince Harry will be called to give evidence. And what is he going to say about that when he is cross-examined and challenged as to why he's bringing these allegations so late? What's its answer going to be? He's alluded to the fact that Buckingham Palace wouldn't let him, which, of course, they haven't said anything on.
He's also said very clearly and emphatically that Camilla, the Queen, as she is now, effectively briefed against him to promote her own PR. That will become part of any court case.
Absolutely, and in his memoir Spare, he branded her... I don't think so. In his memoir Spare, he branded her a villain as well, something which hurts the Queen Consort, according to her friends, who's going to be with her on the day of the coronation. So it's all a bit of a mess. If it does go to trial, because, of course, this is just a 3-day preliminary hearing for the judge to decide whether or not to throw out the case, that's not going to be until January 2024. But, of course, we're 10 days away from the coronation. Not very comfortable for the King, having this, again, overshadowing by the Sussexes, you know, a court case just so close to his big day.
And he did turn the last hearing, he was accused of turning it into a bit of a circus.
Absolutely, and I also must add that Hugh Grant, the Hollywood actor, is also suing the Sun, for the newsgroup newspapers, The Sun, for similar allegations.
He was in charge of the Hacked Off campaign, wasn't he? I mean, Hugh Grant did... You know, he threw his weight behind that. You know what? I was hacked. You were hacked. We both at the same time. So we could be going to court. We could be taking newspapers to court. I had friends who got new conservatories out of their payoffs that they got from newspapers left, right and centre. But it was so farcical.
I know. It was... I mean, I worked for The Times, and I was hacked by somebody from... the late News of the World, which closed down in 2011, by the way. That just shows how historic it was. 12 years ago.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Yeah.
But I just let it go.
I did. And I got taken into a police station in Putney.
Know it well.
And they sat down with these police officers and said, right, we're going to show you some material that might be a little distressing. So I was like, OK, fine, whatever. And there was a notepad like this, like someone would have next to their phone. And it had sort of numbers and scribbles. There was like a daisy drawn in the corner. And there'd been some lazy journalists on a Friday at 5 o'clock who sat there in the office and gone, I'll just tap into Bev Turner's phone. She might be having an affair with someone. And they just did that. And it was things like, and they were like, do you know what this number is? And I said, have you rung it? And they said, no. I said, well, shall we ring it? And I rung it, and it was like, hello, British Gas. And I was like, right, well, that's the gas bill. It was ludicrous. And there's my mum, and there's my brother. And I knew, to be honest, I'd had a tip-off at the time that some of the tabloids were hacking into my phone. And I just said, well, I've got nothing to hide. They're going to hear my mum in Sainsbury's going, do you want more nappies? And they were like, you know, if you feel deeply traumatised, I said to the police officers, like, guys, this is ridiculous. I'm not traumatised by this. It's a load of nonsense. I'm not taking any action.
But clearly Prince Harry is taking action and he feels offended by it,
but it also, Cameron, keeps him in the public eye because he's sinking without trace, frankly. Look at those polls which are suggesting he's no more popular now than Prince Andrew.
And he's spoken at length about the effects that the tabloids British press had on his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. And I think perhaps he is going to maybe stop at nothing to get what he wants, have his day in court.